Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in a building, baby. We're going to the top. We're going to bring others with us. So please become a part of Notification Squad. Peep Squad, hit that notification bell. Know each and every time I drop a video, be the first one to comment, baby, and tell me what's on your mind. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Kenya Moore. She is setting the record straight. When she did an interview with People, I was like, what's going on, Kenya Moore? It seems like Kenya Moore and Marc Daly need to actually move in with each other and live in one city together and run their business the best way they know how, because this is a very crucial moment for their relationship, and being separated only give them the feeling that they can actually live apart from each other. And I don't know why they never lived together, because, what about the passion, the love, and not wanting to be without your loved one? And this being your first marriage for Kenya Moore. But Marc Daly, he's been married before, but it only lasts a year. So you'd think that they'll put everything on a back burner, put their love and their parenthood on the front burner, and take care of that business and that situation up front. But it is what it is. And it also seems like, neither one of them are willing to sacrifice and live together and move together and be one unit. So it is what it is. So let's get into it. So Kenya Moore basically is saying, she opens up about her relationship, and she said even though that they, saying that they have filed for divorce yet, but she doesn't really want to actually get a divorce from Marc Daly. She didn't get married to call it quits. She didn't get married to say goodbye. But damn, after 2 years, you guys are already calling it quits. You're already filing papers. And it seems like maybe, the media attention and the show is actually causing problems in their relationship too as well. Marc Daly knew what he was signing up for. And Kenya Moore, if you want the man of your dreams or your husband to be in your life, maybe you're gonna have to decide whether you want to continue to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta or not. Which one is more important? You did make a sacrifice 1 year, but it seems like now it's interfering, because now you have Marc Daly out here befriending, and he really likes Nene Leakes and he likes Greg, and he's getting advice from them, and he's also telling your marital secrets to Nene Leakes, because maybe he thinks that Nene and Greg can actually give him advice, but he says that Nene Leakes is a good person, or maybe he has a backup plan just in case he feels like you, Kenya Moore, was going badmouth him and talk bad about him, so he had to have an ally on the show. For a man that doesn't really want to be on TV, he damn sure befriended Nene Leakes and Greg, and they're your arch enemies, or frenemies, as they say. So what do you guys think about that situation? What was his gumption? What was his thought process and befriending, Nene and Greg? It is what it is. Kenya, you want him on the show. You want them to film your life. So therefore, he came a part of the show, and he done, got cool with Nene. I'm like, what is really going on? But Kenya Moore says that she doesn't want to call it quits, but it seems like they're going to be calling it quits after 2 years. If your marriage is falling apart, and it's like you guys should still be in the honeymoon stages, but it's not there at all. Like, what is really going on with that situation? Like, and the full 2 years, you guys haven't even been living together or being around each other. And you guys are probably already calling it quits before, Kenya Moore and Marc Daly actually announced to the public that they're kind of moving away from each other. They're separating. It's just too much drama. And it's just like sometimes the writing is on the wall that you got to move on, you got to keep going. But you can do what you can do to save the marriage. And, Kenya Moore was talking about having counseling, getting counseling. Yes, she's going to need separate counseling. He's going to need separate counseling. And then they need family counseling together too as well, because I don't know if the relationship is worth saving. That's only up to Marc Daly and Kenya Moore, but they're already having all these type of disputes and the whole 9 yards, and they have not made the sacrifice to be living together and have each other's back one-on-one together, as a one whole solid unit. Now that's a situation, like there's something going on. I was like, And so, honestly, Kenya Moore said that she just doesn't want to give up, and maybe counseling can help. Maybe counseling can help their relationship, because the problem with their relationship is communication. Like, they're not having true, honest communication. So basically, they're probably not communicating how they feel about each other, how they feel about the situation, or what the other person wants from one another, which that should have been figured out long time ago. But sometimes people are late bloomers, and they figure it out after they get married and have a baby. So So Kenya Moore feels like maybe, marriage counseling can actually save her relationship. So we'll see if that actually happens. But I think the show has a lot to do with it too as well, especially when you have different blogs and different people coming out with stories that Marc Daly is out here cheating. He has somebody else. He has a whole secret family. And, he's been shacking up with another woman. Kenya Moore says that's not true because she doesn't have any proof of it. She doesn't know that he's been cheating. She doesn't not know. She doesn't have any evidence. She doesn't, everything is circumstantial in this situation. So I was like, okay, it is what it is, but it made it seem like he was out here cheating for a good 2 months, that Marc Daly had a secret family and the whole 9 yards, and Kenya Moore did not meet his family. That's what's been the rumor. So I guess Kenya Moore wants to clear it up and just say, I don't know if he's cheating. I never seen him cheat. I don't have any proof that he's cheating. I don't have proof that a woman is actually shacking up with him. And by this time, the woman should come out and say something unless she's paid really good. So we'll see what happens with that situation. But it doesn't seem like there's actually real love between Kenya Moore and Marc Daly, because it's so quick to call it quits and separate and the whole 9 yards and basically just move away from each other. Usually you fight for love, you want love, you do everything that you can to keep it together. And that's what Kenya Moore said that she's trying to do. But I think she has a lot of resentment because Marc didn't move to Atlanta, and basically he's not validating her career and her business or her brand. And I guess Marc Daly considers his brand and his business more profitable than Kenya Moore. So we'll see. This situation is very sticky. And then on top of that, Marc Daly has continued to open up new business after new business after new business in New York, but he won't open up a business in Atlanta. So that says a lot. That makes you feel like, damn, this dude don't even want to be around me or next to me. He's opening all these business that he has to be a part of, that he has to micromanage, that he has to watch and everything like that. So that's going to take time away from him being a father. That's going to take time away from him being a husband. And then on top of that, he lives in New York and I live in Atlanta. So, that's kind of like the message on the wall that, his business and his profits and what he do in New York is way more important than what's going on in Atlanta. And it's vice versa for Kenya Moore. Whatever she's doing in Atlanta, she believes that it's more profitable and more important than for her to travel to New York and live with a husband if she wants to make it work and he wants her to live with him. And I don't even know if Marc Daly even asked Kenya Moore to move in with him or for them to actually live together. They may, be bi-coastal, but that's on a month here, there, a week here, a week there. That's not really a relationship, especially for older adults. Kenya Moore is an older woman. Marc Daly is an older man that got other children and also has been married before. So it's just like there should be some type of like togetherness, like there should be some type of solidarity in between each other where they are not apart. They're fighting together as one. But it don't seem like it's that way. So you guys tell me what you think about the situation. But she says there's no proof that he's actually been out here cheating. So it is what it is. And I guess that's where Nene Leakes come in when she confronts Kenya Moore and let Kenya Moore that I don't believe Marc Daly's out here cheating. I don't believe he's doing this. I don't believe he's doing that because, Nene Leakes can actually say that with a straight face because she's actually been communicating with Marc Daly and he's basically been telling Nene and Greg his side of the story of probably what's going on between them and between the sheets and between their relationship too as well. So we'll see what happens. And then Marc Daly's in business, Kenya Moore's in TV and business too as well, and branding, and you would think that they'll be able to communicate with each other. But Kenya Moore says on the show she comes off as a hardcore person. She comes off very demanding. She comes off like she's tough and she rocks and she's rocking it and she's taking care of business. But she said in her relationship with Marc Daly, she's very submissive and she let him get away with murder. And basically, she does not, the character that we see on Real Housewives of Atlanta is not the character that she is in a relationship with Marc Daly. So if that's the case, then, how come you ain't in New York? And if that's the case, he should be satisfied because if you're very submissive to him, he should be happy because Marc looks like a guy that wants his woman to be submissive but spicy in a bedroom too as well. But it looks like he's always got his way in life. He's always been in control. He's always been in charge. And everything that he does is more important than his partner do unless they're breaking in $7 to $8 million a year, So we'll see how this situation plays out. And Kenya Moore says she wants Marc Daly to be successful, and he's opening up new business in New York, but she also feels like he's being selfish. Or could she be selfish because she's not moving to New York? Or is he being selfish because he's not moving to Atlanta? But they are living in two different places. At first, when they first started off, yeah, it was okay because you were doing your thing, he was doing his thing. But once you bring a baby into the situation, you're going to need that support. You don't want to be, by yourself in a big ass house by yourself, even though you got, cameras, especially when you got a husband. Why should you be living like a single woman when you got a husband? And why should you be living like a single man when you got a wife and a kid? Like, where's the protection? I want to keep my eye on my baby. I want to keep my eye on my wife. I want to make sure they're okay, even though we can FaceTime, we can do all that good stuff. But what about the closeness and togetherness and how you build memories together by living together, waking up next to each other? Someone else getting up out the bed, either Mark's getting up out the bed to check on Brooklyn, or Kenya checking on Brooklyn, but not sharing the responsibilities together. It's not like you're a unit. It's not like you're a family. It's just not like it's really existing, because who in their right mind would want to get into a relationship like that in 2019? It doesn't make any sense. Sometimes when it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. So you guys tell me what you think about the situation. I just think like, damn, they too old for this, like what's going on, baby? And so she also says that, Mark has been a very doting father, and he's actually in Brooklyn's life a lot, but she has not seen Mark since, they announced to the public that they are separating and possibly getting a divorce. But he has seen Brooklyn, I guess, without Kenya Moore around, or they did some drop-off shit. Like, it's too early for all this negativity and separating and talking about we gonna leave. Like, you guys still should be in a honeymoon period. And it's like, damn, these guys are acting like you've been together for 25 years and you're at the wit's end with the situation because nothing has changed. So maybe if they do get counseling, individual counseling too as well, to work on their self, and then on top of that, get counseling together as a family unit, that would be good too as well. And Kenya Moore says she just really wants her daughter, Brooklyn, to live in an environment that's not high energy and high anxiety like the big city of New York. And then, having Atlanta as a house. Like, but either way it goes, you should live 7 months in New York and live the summertime and, Atlanta, or live, the summer, spring, and fall and Atlanta, and then the winter maybe in New York. Who knows? Or it could be vice versa, but I don't know if they're actually putting together the real commitment, if they're actually putting their self and being selfless to each other, and it doesn't seem like that's happening. And she said the real problem is just communication. And it is what it is. And then on top of that, you have, disputes on a show, bringing up your marriage, bringing up all types of stuff. People doing investigation on Mark, who he's with, how he was with his ex-wife, his kids, and all that other stuff. And it seems like they have, very combative conversation, which is not healthy. So that's one of the reasons that, they are separated, and they both feel like we withdrew from each other too as well. And it's like so early for that, but at least they know the signs, and they separated because it's unhealthy to be in unhealthy relationships and then try to run a business and then try to put a smile on for the public. So we'll see what happens with this communication situation, which is the biggest problem. And they could have good communication, but no one actually wants to make the sacrifice, or they both are not making the sacrifice to actually make it work. So we'll see what happens with this situation. We'll see if they get back together. We'll see if they work it out. We'll see if they get counseling, and we'll see if they separate, and then boom, we'll see all the propaganda out here about Mark and what he's doing and who he's doing it with and how he's doing it. We'll see. But Kenya Moore has hope that maybe it might work out, but there's a lot of things that they need to work on, and the number one issue is communication, and probably also living together, being together. But she also says Mark is a great dad. So you guys tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Much love to all my peeps and my peoples.